Hey, Magic Man here, and today I just picked up the Tier 7 Premium Cruiser, the Belfast. I've started heading down the British cruiser line, and I figured I'd need a ship to train my captains in. And this is actually my very first game in this ship. I was actually moving up from Tier 1 through Tier 5 so quickly that I wasn't really able to get too many skills on my captain. I picked up one skill point because I was wasting a lot of my time retraining my captain for each new ship. So I have a captain with one skill point on the Belfast, but not really going to let that stop me. Even in its stock configuration, you get an extra module slot. And I decided to go with the concealment module. So that brings your detectability down to 9.9 kilometers, which is very good for a Tier 7 cruiser. And with the consumables that the Belfast has, it's going to make it so that you can get into close quarters with your enemy and then conceal yourself with the smoke. And if you're, say, trying to take out a destroyer, you're going to have hydroacoustic to spot the torpedoes, or if he's close enough, spot the destroyer himself. And then you've got a 8.49 kilometer radar that you can use to spot them. So at the start of this game, because it's a standard battle, I really don't want to push up too far because I don't want to be the first person to be spotted. The British cruisers, all of them have huge citadels. Like, basically everything from the front gun to the back gun is a citadel, and it rises maybe a foot out of the water. So they're huge and you can't miss them. And the Belfast really doesn't have any armor, but it does have the advantage of being I think this and the Perth are the only two British cruisers that have high explosives. So the premium cruisers have high explosive ammunition, whereas the regular tech tree line of the British cruisers, they only have armor piercing. And the one thing that the British cruisers and the tech tree have that the Belfast does not is a repair. I do not have the repair party consumable, so I won't be able to recover any of the health that I lose in this game, but that's going to be alright. So at this point, I've spotted two of the enemy destroyers. It looks like a majority of the enemy team is heading up to the northeast part of the map into all the islands. Now, the anti-air on the Belfast is pretty respectable, so I'm not too worried about those planes. Not only that, because I think those are Tier 6 aircraft carriers, and this is a Tier 7 game, so this is Belfast being top tier. And just kind of bump into our ally there. I'm not quite sure what to do at this point, because we haven't quite spotted all of the enemy team. Now, most of the enemy destroyers are up in the north, or at least 2/3 of them anyways, and we have lost a friendly destroyer, unfortunately. But I'm trying to light this Colorado on fire because he is pushing up pretty hard, surprisingly. And he's just going to continue his push. Colorado is unfortunately the victim of being slow and a large ship, but it does have the ability to repair a little bit more of the damage it takes than the rest of the Tier 7 battleships, so it's got that going for it. But yeah, he's taking a lot of high explosive damage. And at this point, I figured most of the enemies in the north are not spotted, or at least they weren't spotted. So I decided to go ahead and start pushing up in this direction. Now, I am spotted by something. I had no idea what it was. So I figured I'd start turning in to sort of angle against any threats, and that's when I spot a Farragut. And with the introduction of patch 6.1, I don't know why. I guess they worked on the detection mechanics, because it seems like as far as the line of sight goes, this is my first game playing in this patch 6.1 as well. The enemies, it seems like when they're out of line of sight or undetected, they disappear instantly, which didn't used to be the case. I believe you were spotted for I forget how long it was, but it seemed like you would stay on the screen for a couple of seconds after, but now it's just like you fade out almost instantly, which I'm a huge fan of. But yeah, that just the way people fall off of detection now seems a little bit different to me than it used to. That may just be me being dumb, because it's been a while since I played. Now, the Farragut in front of me is continually being spotted by my Hydro. When I smoked up, I activated my Hydro because that Farragut was around, and I figured he was going to launch torpedoes at me. But it looks like he instead decided to ground himself on that island. And there's that Colorado. He's on such low health. I felt like I could take him out. But I got a lot of shell shatters out of that. And you're going to see, here comes the planes incoming. Shot down one of them, which isn't too bad. We do sink the Colorado. And unfortunately I only get one plane shot down. And that's when this Minikaze pops up in front of me. I don't know if he didn't know that I was in that smoke or what, but I had AP loaded, expecting to be shooting at the broadside of a cruiser, but I unfortunately don't get to. And that Belfast actually laid a ton of damage on me. And this is one of the weaknesses of the Belfast right here. You're kind of seeing it, and smack. Killed that Minikaze. It just kind of went splat. But the turret traverse is not incredibly quick, and because that Minikaze laid a smoke, this Farragut was able to retreat behind it. But unfortunately for him, the Belfast also has a radar, so I'm able to see right through that smoke, and he unfortunately cannot spot me. But his friendly Belfast over there is radaring me, or it could be the Indianapolis. I'm not sure which. But either way, I'm detected by radar at the moment, which is fine. There are actually a lot of people targeting me right now. But unfortunately for them, they are on the other side of the island. And I actually positioned myself here because I wanted to be able to shoot these guys as they came around the island one at a time. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm kind of backing up and angling my ship a little bit so I can get my back guns into it right now. But I don't think this Koenig is going to last long. And I do see that the Indianapolis is wanting to come around the corner. Now, I don't know if it was him that was radaring me or if it was the other Belfast on the enemy team. But either way, I want to be prepared for him when he comes around. And so I'm swapping over to AP because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to hit him in the Citadel. And yeah, here he comes. And that was, unfortunately, a lot of bounces. And, yeah, I eat quite a bit, but I return a crap load of damage. And, unfortunately, I did not get the kill on that guy, which really sucks. Because I did a crap load of damage to that guy. Now, this Belfast is going to smoke up behind me, and this is a bad position to be in. Because he is within range of hydroacoustic and radar, so seeing as how I have no way of seeing him because all of my consumables are on cooldown, which granted they probably wouldn't have been on cooldown had I been running the premium versions of them, but I'm not, so I unfortunately get stuck with them taking forever to reload. So I'm on fire. The Belfast behind me is welling away on me. I'm not going to repair these fires at this moment because, well, I was still being engaged, but it looked like I was out-turning the turrets on that Bugioni. So I felt pretty good about repairing at that particular moment, and this Belfast decided to start firing AP at me, so I didn't feel so bad about it. Now, at this point, I've luckily taken out both of their destroyers that they had up here, and 2 of their cruisers, and this is just the, I don't know, the power that the Belfast brings to the table. The fact that you can position yourself anywhere and be concealed is great, and the fact that you have radar and hydroacoustic is also just so powerful. So this ship is really good, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to smoke up right here because I am in range of shooting at the New York, and the Belfast, which is behind me, I knew his smoke was going to run out sometime soon. I had no idea when, but it would appear as it was going to be right now. And I do have armor piercing loaded. I am expecting him to show his side as he turns away, and I should be able to get in some pretty good damage on him. I don't think I'll be able to citadel him from this range with these guns. These are only 6-inch guns, I believe, and at 10 kilometers, yeah. Might have been able to get some citadel or some better damage in had I aimed that second shot better, but unfortunately I did not. Excuse me. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the high explosive because the armor piercing just seems to, well, probably be doing better if I was aiming a little bit better. But I feel like the high explosive is just going to be a little bit more reliable. And as soon as one of the enemy targets kind of shows me a little bit better angle for me to fire on them, I'm going to switch targets here. But for now, I'm perfectly content with whaling on this Belfast here. And unfortunately for me, the enemy Belfast does kill our carrier. But at this point, I think we have too much of a ship advantage for that to really swing the outcome of this game any. And I'm no longer being able to hit that Belfast in a smoke. And he did seem to hold on to his repair until after he had been in a smoke for a while. Because I did set another fire on him after he'd been in a smoke for a little bit, but it didn't stick, so that is unfortunate for me. And this New York is finally within line of sight for me. I'm not being targeted. Oh, and as I say that, of course the Belfast that's in that smoke starts shooting at me, and oh, actually get a Kraken Unleashed there, killing that battleship. And this Belfast, surprisingly, is actually coming out of a smoke. I don't know why. Oh, well, that would be why right there. Apparently it dissipated. So he is going to run to the corner of the map. It is only him that is left, and I believe my teammates should be able to take him out pretty easily. It is Belfast. I mean, it's not like he's got a whole lot of armor, but anyways, I just wanted to sort of give my impressions on this ship. I think it's really good. It's very maneuverable. The combination of consumables with the radar, the hydroacoustic, and the smoke just make it so potent against enemy destroyers. I really don't see any weaknesses in this ship other than the fact that it's thinly armored and its citadel is huge, but I believe that the combination of maneuverability, the speed, and the consumables plus the guns really make up for that. And the AA is nothing to laugh about, but it's not anything to write home about. So moving on to the results here, we actually did 86,000 damage, which isn't all that much, granted. But we did get the Kraken Unleashed, and we also got Confederate. I ended up getting 3,500 XP altogether and 291,000 credits. We actually end up on top of the team there with 5 kills and 1,800 base experience basically. Only shot down 2 planes. Not that surprising actually, because the carrier only really got close to me maybe one time. But didn't do a whole lot of damage really to too many ships. The Bujoni and the Indianapolis were really the big ones. Kind of basically took most of their health away from those 2 ships. But a lot of our damage actually came from the high explosive shells and the armor piercing. It was about 50-50. And after everything was paid for, ended up making 226,000 credits. And finally got another skill point on my commander. So yay. But if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more. So moving on to the